Everyone, say hello to my new Rotring Isograph. Together, we'll draw marvelous things. Let's get started with a nice abstract piece on my sketchbook. Well, hello there, I'm Detroit. I do drawings. I also do other stuff, but for now, I'll stick with drawing. Today is Thursday, which means ink drawing. I'm using a Rotring Isograph with the size of 0.35, which I assume is in millimeters. You're also looking at my console notebook, which I've already partially filled in many videos you can find on my channel. And many more to come, so subscribe, and like the video, and comment. But wait for the end to see the full drawing. Or else, what are you gonna comment? The other day I bought a Rotring Isograph, complete with an ink bottle and cleaner fluid. Actually, no, it wasn't the other day. I've had it for a while, I just never opened it. I already had other drawing videos in progress, so I had to wait for a while. The reason I bought a Rotring Isograph is really simple. It's because of Peter Draws. Yeah, I get influenced very heavily by the people whose content I consume on the internet. The drawing is also heavily influenced by his style. Anyway, Peter uses this Rotring a lot and is always saying how good it is for him, and I have to agree. This is my first time ever using one and it feels really nice to draw with. I'm going to have to try it with another type of paper though. I think my sketchbook is too scratchy for my taste. I bet it would do wonders on a piece of Bristol paper. Buying stuff is somewhat of a problem for me, I am beginning to realize. I don't buy a lot of stuff usually, but also before October 2020 I never had a job with a salary, and since then I've been buying so much small stuff randomly just because I can. Let me be clear though, I am always really attentive with my possessions. I tend to buy good quality items and only that. Every single thing I own I intend to keep for the longest time possible. I would never buy something I already have just because the newest version is out, like for example a phone. I have two phones, one of which I use to film my videos, but this one I have to keep plugged in to use and I can't use a SIM card anymore for some reason. That's the only reason I changed phones, because having it repaired would have been more expensive. The same way, I don't buy a lot of clothes. As long as I have enough for everyday wear, I never look up t-shirts or pants. Shoes is the more obvious thing. I own like 3 pairs of shoes, and flip-flops. One pair is big winter leather shoes, another is sports sneakers, and the last one is everyday shoes. Vans mostly. I really like the Vans brand. I've been wearing Vans for years now and I really like it. I bought a new pair recently to replace an older one. Because I go longboarding a lot when the weather is nice, my soles usually get used up pretty fast because of braking and stopping on a longboard. Anyway, I usually don't buy stuff, but now I do. It's always things I need, but that I don't need that much. More like things I don't have. For example, I bought a game controller for PC games, although I don't play a lot of games. I also bought a weighting scale, and I bought an electric shaver. I don't care about my weight, and I'm doing fine with a hand razor, but I learned that I like to buy stuff, which scares me a little bit. I like to think that I'm pretty considerate with money, but apparently I'm not, and this has to stop. This Rotring Isograph is the perfect example. I didn't need it, but now I have it. And I'm sure I'll use it for years because I always take care of things. Like I'm gonna clean it before any long pause in using it. I always put stuff back where they belong in my place, so I'm not going to lose it either. Anyway, that's it about my buying habits. On another note, I've had a question on my mind for a while now. Tell me what you think. Why is hour 0 at midnight? Or rather, why is hour 0 where it's at? First of all, midnight doesn't make any sense. 12 o'clock isn't the middle of the night at all. But like for real, why is the beginning of the day at a random point in the night? Why isn't hour 0 at like 6 AM or something, like when the day actually starts? I have no idea why. I could look it up, but I don't want to for now. I like to come up with the most probable answer myself. Take it as a thinking exercise. Something to get your brain pumping, trying to come up with historical and logical reasons. I always loved enigmas and puzzles. A bit of brain tease. I think internet is sometimes making things a bit too easy. When the debate doesn't really matter, like this one, it's good, I think, to not go for the easy answer straight away. Anyway, it would make much more sense to put hour 0 in the morning, like when the sun comes out and it's actually the beginning of the day. And it's also like that for every country. Because of the time zones, basically every country gets its time starting at the beginning of the night, or at like the first third of the night maybe. If we could all reset our time and start at like 6, it would be awesome. Assuming most people around the world get up between 5 and 8, then when you go to sleep, you just have to know the time to know how long you've been awake for example. I would wake up at 0 or 1 and go to sleep at maybe hour 17. So I stayed up 17 hours. Bam! Simple. And I know what you're gonna tell me. Midday. Noon separates the morning from the afternoon, so it makes sense to cut the clock there. But actually, it doesn't. We wake up closer to noon and go to sleep further away from it. Even by waking up at 6, that's 6 hours before noon. And nobody goes to sleep at 6 PM. More like maybe 10 or 11 on average, probably. I don't know where you live, but in France the sun is at its peak at 2 AM or hour 14 rather than at noon. In any case, none of that makes sense. And if you don't agree, tell me why in the comments. And subscribe. A few Thursdays ago, I called my ink drawing video Stream of Consciousness. I realized that it should be the name of my whole ink drawing playlist. For digital drawings, there are always things to say that make sense, but somehow with ink drawings, I feel more like just talking randomly. About drawing, but also about life and stuff in general. That kind of things never run out because there's always a lot to say about everything. For example, did you guys know that I was in a band once and we recorded and released an album? Did you know that I lived for months in other countries? Do you know that I'm learning my 4th language at the moment? I can talk about personal experiences for hours. Only, I don't know if I'm fully comfortable with all of that yet. So in the meantime, I'm just talking about whatever. As long as it's not too political and that I feel like talking about it, I don't see why not. The only reason I wouldn't is if you guys don't like that, then I'll find something else to talk about. This is for my enjoyment, but also mostly yours, so that makes sense. To recap a bit, I make ink drawings on Thursday and digital art on Sunday. Doing both can actually be detrimental to my progress on YouTube, but I don't care, as long as you guys support me. For digital paintings, I like to talk about the drawing and the process of making the art. For ink drawings, I like to talk about random things more. I just like to vibe. That's it guys, I'm just vibing. And if you only enjoy one of those two separate genres, I have playlists for each of them, so you can check that out. I also have another playlist which is for storytelling, and that's another separate matter. Sometimes a drawing will inspire me to write a short story, or the other way around. And that can be digital or traditional, so it's a bit special. But I have a playlist for that if that's your jam. I'm done with this drawing, so tell me what you've thought of it in the comments below. Subscribe and like the video. I would like to stop talking now. See you soon, babies. Bye!